Okay. So in the last session, we gone through the custom roles topic, right? So next topic is invoice approvals. So when I talk about invoice approvals, there is no guarantee it works in the every instance. What I'll do is I'll just verify in which instance it is working. Okay, once I identify the instance where it is working, just I'll take you through the configuration and do testing. Okay. So for now, just I'm marking this concept as a pending. Okay, as a part of payables, two concepts are pending. We'll be covering. Fine. So we're done with this. So creating accounting entries and transferring to GL. Just will go and perform this task. It's all about creating accounting entries for payables, invoices, payments, and transferring the accounting entries to GL and posting them. We'll see that process. So go to invoice workbench, or else directly you can go to the ESS job page. Schedule processes. From there you can submit the task called as job called as create accounting. From this panel also you can do it. So here we have a task called as create accounting. Select create accounting, and we want to perform this create accounting for which application? Payables, and select our ledger, cloud INCUS, and we process events, all everything we can accept. Done. Okay. So fine, like transfer post in GL. Yes, everything is setting defaulted. That you can accept, or else you may change how you want to process. Done. Now you can go on to monitor the job. Go to schedule processes just to look after how what status of the job system is running. So create accounting. Okay, let's wait for some time to see the status. Expected status. So meantime what we'll do is we'll navigate to GL from the different tab. Go to journal section. Import also completed. You could see those journals here. Go to journals, say manage journals. Source is accounts payable. I can search for tables. Search. Okay. Fine. We can give the period name. Search. Okay. So all the invoices which are created within the June, all the payments which are created in June, system group and it created single journal which will have a multiple lines. If you look at payable invoice,
Lakshman, you said earlier, sorry to ask this question. In the parameters, what was that? Two star means, one star means?
One star means the field itself mandatory. Two stars means any one of the field is mandatory. Any one you can enter, it will work.
Thanks.
It's taking time to fetch it. Meantime, just you can look into that. Let me try from here also. So here you could see four fields has two stars. So any one of the field, if you enter, that would be enough for search. Yeah, here you could see that multiple lines because this journal is created against multiple invoices. So already we discussed how to drill down to subledger application. If you want to drill down, if you want to know, so what is the amount all about it? Is $30,000, 24, anything? Just you can click on the respective amount. Just navigate to the specific line information. These are the three liability accounts we have for that. And again, further you can drill down to subledger transaction. You can select specific line, click on view transaction. So this is a payable invoice. Invoice number is 123. View only access. This is how we can drill down. I think in the very initial sessions in payables, we just gone through this process. The same. Okay. So that's all about just creating accounting entries and transferring to general ledger. Done. The next topic is payables period close process. This is quite same as EBS, but here you could see some information in one place. Say, I'll be providing the detailed document on this, but within the system also you could see. So what reports we run, what processes we run, all you can see in one place. So if you want to see that information, what you have to do is just go to navigator. From the navigator, under tools, you could see the task called as reports and analytics. Just click on the task. Reports and analytics. Click on the task. And here we have expand option. Here go to shared folders. Okay, shared folders. We can just select financials. Here you can see the reports and process names. Okay, we selected financials. Here you could see the detailed navigation also. It is showing all folders, shared folders, and financials. Within the financials, go to payables, you're under payables, and here you can see period close. So it will just list out all the required reports and process names. Okay, payables, posted invoice, registered report we have to run. Payables posted, payment registered, payables period close exception report, unaccounted transaction sweep report, payables trial balance report, close payables accounting period, payables open items, revaluation report. These are all the just reports which we normally run as a part of payables period close. That could be EVS 11A or release 12 or Fusion. Okay, that's all we have. On this, I'll be sharing one document that will cover all the modules period close process. That is same as EPS. Some additional reconciliation option also they given that anyway we are going to discuss. Okay, here you could see list of reports which you have to run. Okay, as a part of payables period close for all the application payables receivables for other applications also. I'll be sharing the document. What I'll do is after today's session along with the today video, I'll be placing in the Google Drive. The pending two sessions I uploaded in the Google Drive, as well as I placed a sample CV also. I created one folder called as sample profile. Within that folder I placed one Fusion sample profile. You may go through it. Okay, after today's session I'll be placing this document. Okay, period close document for all financial modules. Okay, I'll do that. So that is just, so this is information if you want to have a quick reference here, or anyway I am going to share the detailed document. You just, if you want to try on that, you can just try, or else you can go through it. And
Lakshman,
please.
if you want to close the periods, we will run all the reports to see all the open transactions and all. But what is the process of to close the period?
How you close in EBS payables?
But we want to know the navigation. I know how to do in EBS. Just we want to know the navigation, how to close the period.
See, when system will allow you to close the period?
I mean, we are not asking to close the period. We want to ask just showing the navigation.
No, Murali, we opened the period, right? Do you remember? Murali?
Hello?
Murali, you remember we opened the payables period, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, same navigation.
Okay, understood. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, same navigation. You opened there itself, you could see all the statuses. So we know, like if you close all the period close exceptions, then only system will allow us to close the period. So even if you try to close, it will run the exceptions automatically. So you can take the navigation of invoices or payments. Here in this panel you can go to the task called as manage accounting periods. So choose your ledger which is associated with your business unit, and here you have a period statuses, right? These are the period statuses. Now the current status for our period is June is this. If you want to close it, select June, try to close it. Okay, so this is how just you can close this period. But anyway, we are going to test P2P cycle also. I don't want to close now. So the same, this is the navigation from where we open the period, from there only we close. The same is applicable in EBS and as well as Fusion. Okay, that's all about period close. There is a navigation where you can go and see that information, and anyway I'll be providing the document also along with that. Okay, done. So other point is payables to general ledger reconciliation. How we do in EBS? In EBS case, all the ways we run the reports from payable side and GL side analysis report will run, and will manually we have to verify that information. But here in Fusion that is very much simplified. Okay, if you want to perform the payables to GL reconciliation or receivables to GL reconciliation, the process is very easy. So first what we have to do is we have to identify the reconciliation accounts, the control accounts which you are using in the payables. So in accounts payables, the control account is accounts payable account only. So for that account, you have to set the financial classification. Say set financial classification for AP control account. You have to set the financial classification or say financial category for AP control account. In accounts payables, if you may have one liability account, depending on the cases scenarios, you may have more than one liability account. So how many liability accounts you have? For all those, you have to set the financial classification as that is accounts payables account. We'll see that. So once we're done, we'll run the process. Run AP and GL reconciliation process. What this process will do is when you are running this process, we'll give the control account information. System will identify with the same account what are the balances are available from AP side and GL side. It will fetch. One system will fetch with the reference of that process which we run. We can run the payables to general ledger reconciliation report. Run payables to general ledger reconciliation report. So when you run the payables to general ledger reconciliation report, it shows that information with the same control account as per payables. What are the balances we have as per receivable, as per GL? What are the balances? Is there any variance? It will display. If any variance, the variance reasons also it will display. If you find some variance and it gives the reason, by following the reason you can go and fix it. After fixing, again repeated task is again you have to go and run AP and GL reconciliation process. Again you have to run the report. Again it will be showing that the information how we have in the payables and GL and with the same control account. Again if you find some sort of difference, you have to go and correct and you have to run this process. Finally you have to, once you run this process, what are the information this process fetches, that you can see through this report. Okay, so this process they very much simplified. We don't have this sort of process in case of VBS. We'll go and see how it works. So very simple process. First what we have to do is, for our accounts payable account, we have to set the financial classification, or call it as category. This financial classification or category, it's nothing but value attribute as per EBS segment qualifier. Now go to this account, accounts payable account, which is available in our value set. And before that, we'll verify which accounts payable account we are using for our business unit. Okay, where we can specify that in common options. Whatever we given in the common options, that only system will use in the invoice creation process if we don't provide in the supplier site level. Right, we'll go and check it once. Which accounts payable account we are using, we'll just look into that. So go to common options. So we are using the account called as 21010. This is the liability account we are using. So the same we call as control account in terms of reconciliation purpose, right? So for this we have to set the financial category or the classification. First we have to go to value set. Okay. We'll go and verify first of all which value set we are using. That is also very important. So chart of accounts, structures. So manage structures. Here the structure name is Cloud INC. Click on edit. Select segment called as account. Click on edit. So we are using the value set called as account cloud INC, but reality system will take the value set which is associated to instance level. Now we'll go and verify the same is available, or so we just update it at instance level. This is structure level. Structure level we have cloud INC account. Now let's go to instance level. Yeah, fine. Here also we are using the same value set. So account INC only, cloud INC only. Fine, that. So value set is account cloud INC. Done. Now we'll go to this value set and we'll set account type as accounts payable. Otherwise, you cannot use this account in the reconciliation process. Go to value set or value set values. So manage chart of accounts, value sets. So the value set name is account cloud INC. Just click on manage values. So within this value set, we have one account called as 21010. Search for that value. So this is accounts payable account which we are using in our business unit. So here you have to set the financial category, nothing but classification or category, anything you can call. So this financial category you have to set as this is accounts payable account. Select as accounts payable account. Then only this account can be used in reconciliation process. Notice this. Just we are setting financial category. This financial category reconcile third party account type, allow budgeting, allow posting as per EBS. Of course, in EBS we don't have financial category, but we have all these 5 segment qualifiers. The same segment qualifiers here we call as value attributes till release 11. Okay, till release 11. No, in up to 12 also. The the title for all these they used to show as a value attributes. From here 13 onwards, the framework they changed the display. Here you don't see the naming convention for all these as a value attributes. Just they given as a part of record. That's all. Okay. Select financial category as accounts payable account. And say save and close.
Lakshman?
Yeah, please.
So this setup, we can only do it, we can do it for all the accounts that are assigned as a liability account.
Yes, all.
So if we have multiple liability accounts.
How many liability accounts you have which will be using for this process, invoicing process for those? Normally client will have a less account. Some clients will have only one account. If they have a classification of vendors accordingly they want to track the liability, then only they'll go with more than one, whatever it may be, to track your supplier liability. Okay, how many liability accounts you have, all you have to, when you're using those liability accounts for invoice creation process to track and reconcile, you complete this step for all those.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, fine. We're done with this. Now we have to run the AP and GL reconciliation process. Go to schedule process. Just search with the term called as a reconciliation. So here you can see one job name called as prepare payables to general ledger reconciliation. You select this job. Okay, prepare payables to general ledger reconciliation. What it will do, you could see the description also. What it will do, it prepares transaction and accounting information for reconciliation, and it will pick the data from accounts payables and general ledger application. What data it will pick? It will pick the balances against control account, payables account. That account we have to provide here as a parameter. Say okay. So request name. This request name is required when we go and run this report, payables to general ledger reconciliation report, to see the results of this program process. The request name only required. Okay, I'll say this request what it will fetch. This process what it will fetch. It will fetch uh, June 18 AP2 GL reconciliation. So select your ledger. Okay, ledger level just you can conduct, or else if you have multiple business units you can select specific, and again for which period, June month, and here you have to provide that account, which account you qualified as a accounts payable account with the financial category. That account you have to select. That account is this 21010. Go to add fields and just select account, provide account here, just say okay. Okay, done. If you have multiple accounts you have an option here. So instead of equal to, you can go with these options between the range you can select. Okay, so that's how you can manage. So we have only one account I selected. See, one filter condition is defined. Done. Now you can submit. Once you submit, what system will do is, with this account, okay, 21010, so what are the balances are available in payables as well as general ledger, it will fetch. From GL it will fetch the balances, from AP it will fetch the balances. Submit it.
Lakshman, if we schedule this job, the request name, we have to enter it, right? Right now it's a free text field. So if we're scheduling this job, how can we tackle that?
See, normally we don't schedule this, we'll be submitting, because we have to give the name, based on that only it will happen. Okay, so that has to be entered by us, that we should enter.
Okay. And one other question. When we did the setup, we are at the value set level. So we had multiple options. Like we selected accounts payable, but there were a lot of other options we can select. So is that like we can do this for all those options, or it's only for receivables
So
and
those are
payables?
all for different applications. You have account receivables. When you are working on account receivables, for account receivables reconciliation, you use that option. The same way, that is just for all the different products we have, right, from Oracle, different modules. Those all are module specific options. Okay, we are dealing with the payables, which is applicable for payables that we selected. Fine. So just we submitted this process, done. Now the next step is we have to go and run the payables to general ledger reconciliation report. Now we submitted process. The process will fetch the balances. Think like it's already done. Now to see the results of this process, we are going to run the report. To run the report, you can go to invoice workbench, go to invoices, go to task list. So under accounting section, you have one task called as payables to ledger reconciliation. It's not showing the full name. If you minimize, you could see that. payables to ledger reconciliation. Okay, so just you click on that. Payables to ledger reconciliation. Automatically to fetches the request name. The request name we given as June 18 ARGL reconciliation, right? With that reference of that request ID, it will take as a reference against that process. What are the balances are created? I mean, system is fetching that it will display. So here request name is taken automatically June 18 APGL reconciliation. This is the name we given. Against this request, what are the balances system already fetched? It is displaying. Here you could see the differences. Okay. Here, if any difference is there, you could see here. Only we got the difference as 10,000. Okay. What is the reason? Also, you can see this is a reconciliation report where system derived the balances from AP and GL. So you can just click on this variance. Why we are getting this variance? Just look at that 10,000. You can go and fix it. And again, you have to run the process which we run. After running the process, again you have to run this report. Then finally you can see the results. The difference is just by getting balanced or not. We'll just look at this. Why this 10,000 is getting, we are getting as a difference. It will give the detailed reasons also.
Obviously, invoice was paid, payment was not done, so maybe $10,000 payment is required.
No. Payment not. Payment because payment it won't show, right? So it will show the primary reasons are it will show if it is not accounted, pending for transferring to GL. These are the reasons it will show us. Basically.
Yeah.
Just 1 second. So return.
Actually, looks like there are like in release 13, the Oracle looks like created backend recon tables and to store this information. Isn't it?
Yeah, they created some additional tables. Yes, you are right. To fetch the data and to store, they created.
Thanks.
This is not. I think in this instance is not fetching. Basically, it will display the reason. Okay, it is showing not fetching. Once you click on this, okay, it will display the reason. See, once you click, it's navigating. It's showing that no data to display. Maybe any browser issue. We'll go and check it. We'll just go and submit once again. Invoices. Payables to ledger reconciliation. The same request name it will use. So here you could see that difference is 10,000. You can just click on the $10,000. It should give us the reason. There is some issue with that report, I guess. Okay, but just notice that point. Okay, this is how you can see the variance. So after that, you can click on that. It shows the reason. No, ideally it could be like unaccounted. Okay, unaccounted or not transferred. That's how it shows the reason. So since it's not accounted here, you could see the variances resulting from the payment. Okay, so that's all.
Like,
Thank you. Yeah, please.
if if transaction is unaccounted or it's not transferred to GL, we can run some standard reports to see
Yeah, you
that,
can
right? So what's the
standard
significance of
reports.
this one versus the other?
Standard report, you can run the unaccounted transaction report. You can run. You can see that. Before that, here it will show. If you click on this amount, it will show this is belongs to how many invoices, how many payments that is unaccounted or it's not transferred. Accounting is created or not transferred to GL. But here it is not displaying. Basically, here it will display. That's how the function works.
It shows the same details as the
Same
report,
details.
right? Nothing,
You
nothing
no need to.
extra.
Yes, you no need to go and search for the reasons. It gives the complete information.
Okay.
You don't need to do any extra work. Just click on. You have to identify any difference. Yes, click on the difference. It will show the difference, the variance reasons. Then you can go and fix it. After fixing, what you have to do? Again, you have to run this process as a mandatory because the
Okay.
previous process, whatever you run, that reference number is different, right? So whenever
Yeah,
you run the
got it.
process, automatically system will take the latest request number name. Again, you have to give the new name, and again you have to run the report. There you could see the updated information. This is how it works. So it is not displaying that reason. There may be some issue with this report, but ideally it displays. But anyway, it is showing that the results and all. So this is how this reconciliation part works. Okay. Just what we have to do is we have to identify that control accounts and we have to set the it's financial classification you can call, but the naming convention they given as a category. You have to set the financial category for your control accounts. Then just run that AP to GL reconciliation process by selecting your one or multiple control accounts. Then if you run the report, the result of the process it will show in the report. And there itself you could see variance. If you click on the variance, it will display the output also. And reasons also. Accordingly, you can go and correct. Once you correct that issues, say it's system is showing payment accounting is not done or accounting is done not transferred to GL. That could be reason. In that case, payables will run the create accounting process and will make sure that entries are transferred. Then again, after completing the task, you have to run again new process called as same payables to GL reconciliation by giving the new request name. Then you have to run the report, and when you run this system completely ignores previous request name. It will fetch automatically latest request name only when you run this report. You don't need to select that as a parameter. It will pick automatically. So that's how that reconciliation process they given, which they simplified. Okay, in EBS case, in all the ways we have to go with a complete manual process of running all the stuff. So that's how we have in EBS, as we know. So that is a point we have to notice. What else we have like? So we'll just go through how to create the BA report. The BA report, we know it's a pure technical task, but here just I mentioned to take you through to introduce how from where you can write the SQL queries. That is intention why we just included the BA reports. Otherwise, we are not going to work on this BA report developments and all. Only the BA report definition process only will allow us to write the SQL queries. So that's how you can have a database access. We'll see from where you can write this SQL queries and all. We'll just go through it. Fine. So if you want to write the SQL queries here, our target is understanding from where we can write the SQL queries. If you want to fetch the data from database, from where you can just get that. Before that, we'll just go and see. Uh, we'll go through from where we can find the tables information. If you want to find any table information, so you can go to Google and you can search for Oracle OER, Oracle Enterprise Repository. Okay, the first link, Oracle Enterprise Repository for Oracle Fusion application. Just click on this. Okay, go to financials, and under financials we have different contents. File based data import, which we tried already. Reports, if you want to see as a part of financials module this version wise report, there is no huge difference, but this is how they given information, version wise only they given. If there are some slight changes, those also can be addressed. And here if you scroll down, we are under financials tab. If you scroll down, you could see tables and views. We are working on which version? Release 13. You just click on release 13. Okay, you can go with this books, and here search for table. Okay, so what we are doing, just we have to take this navigation. You have to search in the Google for Oracle OER. The first link you have to select. After that, select financials. Let me close this. After that, select financials. Under financials, you can find the content called as tables and views. Which version of application you are using, just click on that. As we are landing on this page, get started page, Oracle Financial Cloud Release 13. And here when you are in this page, what you could do is you can just select books, and here search for term called as table. So here you can find tables and views for Oracle Financials Cloud. So just click on this HTML hyperlink. Let it load. Yep. So here you can find for entire financials, okay, our financial modules, the tables and views. Let me select tables, it will display module wise. Can I click on expand also? Yes. So here you can notice module wise they given the tables information. This is something like TRM, technical reference manual, we find in EBS case, right? Similar to that, they given the information here. So all these details you can find. So I'm just selecting the payables module. So payables related all the tables. Okay, all the tables you could see here. So we'll pick one or two tables. We'll go with say this table AP invoices all. Just click on the table. Within this table, what are the columns we have, and so all the detailed information you can see related to the table. AP invoice all, you can just given the description about it, and the table falls under which schema, and who is the object owner, and the object type is table or view. Already we selected tables only, right? So table space, all the details, what is the primary key, and all the columns and the characteristics of the columns. Okay, all the information you could see here. Okay, so just we have many. So what we'll do is we'll take few columns from here for our just to we'll go and write. We are going to write the query, right? For that purpose, we'll just take the table name. We'll use this table just to write the simple SQL query. SAP invoices all. From here, we'll just try to fetch. We can fetch the entire data, but many columns we have. We'll take a few columns. Say I want to fetch just invoice number. Still they just given setup books only. Even EBS 12 also you could see in the backend setup books. So invoice amount. I want to fetch few columns just to understand from where to write the query. Only that is a point. And say invoice date. So I want to write the query. So I'll say select Invoice. Column name is invoice, right? Okay. Select invoice number, invoice amount, invoice date. From AP invoices, all from this table I want to get this 3 columns data. So these queries and all we know very well, but just only the point is from where we can write this query, from what is the navigation. One system will fetch that information. If you want to take that output of the query, how we can take that information to report definition, which is simple process, we'll see now. Okay, this is a query we are going to use. Now go to application and go to navigator. It's in the navigator under tools. Okay, under tools you can select reports and analytics. Okay, reports and analytics. So here we have option reports and analytics. Reports, and there is no big difference, just analysis purpose. If you are going with this, you can go with accordingly. They will be providing the templates, and report, if you want to create, you can go with the report. You can just go with any one of the option. I'm just choosing the report. Okay, but it's not loading. Let me click on browse catalog. Fine. So we know how to navigate here, right? Just from the navigator, under tools we have a task called as reports and analytics. Then we'll be landing on this page. So now you can just go to create and select report. Once you select report, automatically should navigate us to that report definition page. Since here it is a blocking, it is not taking us. Just say allow, show. It will take us to BI publisher catalog page. Fine. From here you can go to new. Just wait for a second. Go to new. The drop down you could see many options. Out of that, select data model. Just select data model. Just wait for a second. Yep. So under diagram, again click on this drop down option. And now how you want to fetch the data from database with SQL query. Select SQL query and write the query identification here. I'll say cloud INC invoice. Just for our identification purpose, we are writing cloud INC. So related to query related to invoice data. And here we have a data sources. So Fusion DB, okay, which will give the access to entire database. Which database? Oracle database only, not Sbase. Okay, Fusion DB. So this is the database which you can use to connect to the database and go. It's equal to app schema in EBS. If you connect to app schema, you'll have access to all the tables, all the module specific tables. So the same it's applicable in other data sources. We have, if you want to connect to only finance and SCM, this is a FSCM you can use. For HCM table, only HCM tables, only CRM tables. You can go with the Fusion DB, and type of SQL is a standard SQL. Here we have query which we prepared. This is the query we prepared, right? So select invoice number, invoice amount, date from AP invoices all table. The same you can provide here. Then say okay, it will fetch the results. So this is a place from where we can write the SQL query. And if you want to see that information, so this is how just you can go to the data, and you can just say view. So your 5 columns only selected. Table view, if you want to get, you can get it. So I want to see the 10 records. 10 records. Okay, finally just you have to save this definition. Save as sample data. Saved. Now click on save again. Here the data model, it will save. So here the name you can provide cloud inc invoice data. So just we are giving the name prefix as a cloud inc. Okay, save it. So here we have it 2 folders, shade and my folder. Shade means it will be shared across all. My folder means it is specific to user. By default it got saved into my folders. Now done. What is the next step? We have to, so now we saved this query and all this query. The data is, it depends like how much data we have, it will be coming anyway. So but we saved this data as a sample data. This system will take as a data model. So the data model we have to take into report definition, so that as a report you can see this data. So now you can say create report. Just click on create report. Whatever the name we saved, cloud inc invoice data, that record it will take as a data model. So it is taking data model name as cloud inc invoice data. The query what we written, that we saved with this name. Now what we have to do is we have to go to the next step. So here below it should show the option, but because of screen and all it is not displaying, you can minimize it. Now click on next. Okay, just click on next. So the data which you are going to, whatever the query you written, that how you want to present, the page options and the layout options you can select. Want to show in the table format or chart format, and pair table or chart and table, how you want to represent that options you can select. We'll go with the table selection, and the portrait page option we can go with not landscape and all. We'll just go with the default option. Just click on next.
Ashwan, what is the equivalent topic in EBS? This one?
That's all about report definition equivalent.
Correct. Is it a business discoverer, or it is a BI? What kind of, like,
BA,
OTBI report?
BA, OTBI, not BA. This is a completely BA.
BI.
Screens, yeah.
Okay, not OTBI report.
OTBA, just that is a OTBA analysis. There you cannot write the query if you remember. You can drag and
Okay.
drop. The OTBA we have separate concept.
Okay, this is a business intelligence. Okay.
Yeah, it's a business intelligence. What we are doing in EBS case, if client is taking the license for BI, then they can use it. Otherwise, by default, we don't have.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. So now these are the 3 columns which we have in the data model. So finally, you want to take the 3 into report, you can take it. Just drag and drop. Okay, just drag and drop. We have 3 columns. Okay, 3 you require, only 2 you require into report, that you can finalize. So here by default invoice number, it is just summing all this. You can disable the checkbox. So grand total row, it's not applicable for invoice amount. It is showing the totals and all. If you want to keep as is let system sum, you can keep it. Otherwise you can say show grand total row. You can disable it. It won't sum the balance until unless you go and write the formulas, some calculations how you need. Okay, done. Now you can click on next. Here just it's processing, you notice here.
Lakshman, can we write complex queries?
Yeah, you can write it.
Okay. So, we can do the joins and we can write as complex as.
You can write anything like it. So if what are the tools
Okay.
you use, Toad or some other tools to write the query to interact with the database, everything you can write. Just now we used on panel to write the SQL query, right? That is a
Yes.
place where you can write any query, like how you want to filter
Okay.
the data, how you want to.
And this report that we are creating, so if next time we want to run the same report, do we have to do it manually, or is there automatic way of running the same report?
No. Manually you can run, otherwise you can schedule it. All the options are available. Because we are creating report, this report always will be available to submit anytime. Okay, see any report, if you want to run manually, you can run it, or else you can schedule it, the same option. Altogether, we are creating
Okay.
new report, that's all. Okay, fine, done. So now that system is selecting the view report option, you can say just finish. And now you can give the report name. I'll give the name as report name as cloud invoice details report. Okay,
So
see
this
the
is the
my
report
folder.
name we will use to schedule
Sorry?
in schedule processing, right?
Sorry?
So this is the report name we will need to use to
Yeah,
schedule this report in the
yes.
report process schedule
Not
processes.
mandatory, you have to go to the schedule process task to run the report. From BA itself, you can run it. I'll show you from where. I just taken the navigation for period close process reports, right? From there itself, you can run it. We'll see that after this. We'll go there. Yeah, fine. So my folders, shared folders, we have shared folders. If you save anything, it will be shared across all the users. If you want to keep separate for just only you to access, then you can keep in the my folders. By default, it will take into my folders. You can say okay. Then it will run the report first time when you create automatically. Okay. So when somebody is working on this BA report, developing the BA reports, they can just make it very grand look and all the multiple options we have to how it data need to be displayed in background colors or etc etc. But just for our understanding, just how to write the SQL query, that is our target. The query related data how to take into the report also, just we are trying to do it. If you want to see this report output in the different formats, here you have an option. Okay, you can go to view report, you click on that, these are the different formats where you can see this report in PDF or HTML, RTF, and Excel format, PowerPoint. These are different options we have. Let's see in the PDF format. So select PDF, it will generate the report output in the PDF format. Still it is fetching the data. Okay, this is how you can see in the same way different formats. Okay, you can download that. See. Okay. So this is as a part of BA, like who are developing the reports, they can write many, just they can add the parameters, etc. and all. I'm just clicking on home section, and here the report would be available. Cloud invoice details report. Just you can click and it will run. And again for this you can write the parameters and all, but that is not our job. That would be done by just technical people will be developing. Here you could notice that if you go to data model, the very first step where you prepare, there you can find those relevant details here. all related
Lakshman,
data. Yeah.
Lakshman, we can't use SQL developer or a Toad tools here, right? In
No,
Fusion.
no option. Only this is a place where you can write the queries.
Okay, to see anything, to fetch anything, like we have to use the same under BI into that section. We need to
Yeah, right.
build a query and see the results, right?
Yes. If you are using the Fusion applications as a on-premise solution, yes, you can use that any tool. In case
Okay.
in case of cloud, they are not giving option to connect your that database with any third party or Oracle tools.
Okay.
Only in the same
So if you
environment
wanted
you
to
can.
check any data in the tables, you have already shown the tables and views.
Yeah,
From there, you can find out the data, and here you can build a query.
exactly. This is the process. If you
Oh,
are already aware of EBS, what are the table names, columns we have, same we have here. There is no big difference.
okay.
Same. If you remember that, directly you can come here and you can write the query. Just if you want to see it, or else if you want to take the into report definition, this is the process.
Okay. Because in this report, it is fetching all the invoices from all the business units and from, I think, from all the ledgers, everything.
You have to write the conditions, right? Where
Exactly.
equal to
Org, yeah, org,
ID is equal to so and so, right?
org ID and all. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because in EVS, to find out the org ID, we have help option to find out at least the org ID and all. So now here we have to go and fetch the data from the table only, right?
No. That simple things you can find from front end also. I am not sure whether we have seen in our classes or not. It's very simple. You can go to manage business units. So if you remember in EBS, we have option. If you open any record, if you have a columns, system will display only fixed columns. The rest of columns, if you want to see from front end, what do we do?
From folder options, folder tools.
Same. Folder. We'll go to the folder show field, right?
Okay. Okay.
Similar to this, here we have. Here just once the record is open, you can go to view section. There it will system will display what are the other available columns. See here, if I look at the business unit records, so I have a BU name, the status indication, BU location, manager, and business unit ID. By default
Oh,
here, I think last session or prior session we discussed this. So by default the column called as business unit ID is hidden. This is how you could.
okay.
If you want to see any BU ID, go to columns
Sure.
and show all or specific one you can select. That's how it will display. If you want to write any query based on the BU where BU ID is equal to so and so, you can specify. That's how you can write.
Okay. Thank
Same way for ledger also you can find. So for other definitions
Okay.
also, wherever some IDA is applicable, you can just go and find from here only. So which columns our system is not displaying from here, those you have to find from there only. For example, you want to know like who created that business unit. You don't have information here, right? Only view it is showing very limited fields. Only this. Who created this business unit? If you want to know, you have to go to that where the BU's data will get stored by looking at the tables. Then you have to write the query. Then you'll come to know. But these are the limited columns which they are giving by default. Remaining, they are giving option to insert, add. Okay, that's how it works.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Lakshman, is there any restriction we can do for sensitive information? In the HCM, we have social security numbers and date of births. Anybody can query anything from here, right? Is there any
Yeah,
data
anything.
restriction?
No restrictions. No restrictions. See, when we are going to query, what we are doing, we are selecting the schema, right? Here, source they are given the name.
Yeah.
Schema will select it. Within the schema, what are the applications falls under, what are the data records falls under, everything you can query. No restrictions.
Okay.
Of course, very authorized people only will get access to this, right? So that is the reason there won't be an issue. These are the different properties in the data model who technical people will be using. So data sets, even triggers and flex fields. The triggers and all we cannot do in the cloud environment. Triggers and all will work in the on-premise instance only, not in this. And flex field mapping and list of values to select and parameters defining for reports. Okay, so these are all different options. It comes under core BI report development and all. So that's how we can find this. And, so that's all about just here. Our target is understanding from where we can write the SQL queries. The report which we defined here, you could see here. If you want to edit the report, you can edit it from here. Any modifications if you want to do for that, some layouts or formats or etc. Inserting the logo, all those you can do. This is the report which we define. Okay, click on edit. It will open the edit mode and you can do the modifications, whatever you want to do it.
Lakshman, we can edit the parameters also, right? The
Sorry?
report parameters. The report parameters, we can edit those as well, right?
Parameters editing in the sense
Yes.
see the parameter when you run any
Uh,
report will have a parameters, right?
yes.
See, we
So
don't
if
have,
we define,
no,
can we change?
no. As of now, whatever we created, no parameter we have in that. Those are columns.
Right. But if we create any parameters for this
Yeah,
report, can we
you can do that.
change them, right?
Even you can change these columns also anytime. Just you can how to update and how to save accordingly. Anything you can just see. You are customizing the report. You are defining the report. You can play with that anytime. Okay, so this is how just you can edit the report. You can add the layout grids and data tables and charts. Okay, different options we have like just all these you can layout. I mean, which you can insert into report. Okay, page layout selections, all these specifications, everything you can do it. But if you are a kind of a BI developer, you can do it. But being a functional consultant, normally we don't involve. Okay, if you know that. Okay, that's how it works. This is what just which is planned to discuss. It's all about understanding from where we can write the query. But along with that, we have seen how to take that report, the query related results into report. Also, we have seen. That's all about. So BI. So what is the big difference between BI reports and OTBI reports? In the BI reports, you'll have a flexibility of writing the query. With the only query option only you can get the data. In OTBI, basically we use for analysis purpose. OTBI we use for analysis purpose. In case of OTBI, what we do is it's all about you can there'll be predefined subject areas. We call as subject areas, so within from that specific columns you can drag and drop and you can prepare some live report or analysis. Okay, that's how this OTBI works. In case of BI, you can write the query, your own query, like how you which data you want to fetch. You'll have a flexibility. Whatever the data is available in the database, from that which specific columns data you want to get, you will be able to write the query. In case of OTBI, you cannot write the query. What Oracle is offering within that available columns only, will be able to create the report or analysis. That is the difference between these two. Anyway, just quickly we'll go through this OTP also. It's a very simple thing. Just same navigation you have to use. Under tools, you have to go to reports and analytics. And here select analytics. So this analytics means it's a OTBI. Subject areas. Okay, Oracle is providing the predefined subject areas. You cannot create your own subject areas. Within the available subject areas only, you can create the OTBA report or OTBA analysis. So these are the different subject areas. Let's look for financial subject area. This BI or OTBA all will be running on the BI server in the middleware. Okay, we have a BI server also. Business intelligence server. These all are flavors of I mean Oracle. I mean we have OBIE, right? So that is the actual server we have. On that this BI and OTBI all will be running. So let's go to our financials. Search for financials. Yeah, here we are just directly we are navigating. Here we have that section. One second. We'll go with payables. Just 1 second, it may take minute time to go and find it. We have cash management. Since we didn't touch those, we are not going to take them. For example, we look for payables.
Everywhere it is saying payables, maybe not accounts payable, it's maybe payables just.
Oh, it's the name we could see as a payables. No, just we'll look into it. It's not fetching when we search. Yeah, here we have the subject areas. These all are predefined subject areas. Payables, invoice, goods, okay, real time. So if you have suffix, these all are subject areas. Which subject areas has suffix called as real time? Those only you can use for OTBI purpose. Which it doesn't have suffix as a subject real time, those you cannot use. See here we have some subject areas. Okay, it doesn't have real time. This you cannot use for OTBA purpose. Okay, they are just working on this to come up with some further developments. In that process, they just given that, but this you cannot use in the OTBA process. So here, these are the different subject areas we have. We'll go with the subject area called as payables, invoices, transactions, real time. We'll use it. Select this and say continue. You can select multiple subject areas also. So once you select subject area, we selected subject area. So within the subject area, we'll have a dimensions. Dimensions are nothing but grouping multiple columns. Here the subject area name is payables, invoices, transactions, real time. You expand it, you can see the dimensions. These are all we call as the dimensions. Subject areas will have a dimensions. Each dimension will have a subdimension or attributes. Say columns will be part of, columns are grouped into dimensions are grouped into specific subject areas. This is a terminology which you have to understand. So here our requirement is we want to fetch BU name. I want to do some analysis. I'll go to the dimension called as business unit. The business unit related many columns we have. Okay, I want to get BU name. So business unit name you can select. I'm selecting the columns from the dimensions. BU name. Okay, and I want to select supplier name also. Select and select here, and I want to select supplier site. Go to supplier site dimension. Site, select, and go to along with that. So BU supplier site, then better will go with the invoice dimensions, invoice details. Go to again invoice details dimension, we have sub dimensions, general information. Expand. So here so you need invoice number into this analysis, and done. Now go to invoice amount dimension. Select invoice amount dimension. Done. So just say these are enough. Just this is how you can select. There is no other option. Okay, if certain column is available under specific dimension, you can select. If this is supported by your requirement to conduct some analysis and all, you can use it. If you find the situation where the columns are not available, you can go with BA reporting, or else you want to go with some calculations which are not possible in the OTBI. Only the option is BI. Just for simple analysis, just you can select the columns and you can proceed with that. We selected these columns, just click on next. Okay, and here you can give the title for that. OTBI invoice details or invoice analysis. Here just table, how the data need to be represented, table format, table, just I'm selecting table which is recommended and by what and all we have. And if you want to display the data, the graphical representation means you can select the graph here, which you got graph, specific graph you can select, bar or pivot, just different graph sections we have, you can select. And again layout, if you have both, which one should come on top, which one come in the table above and the graph below, and table below and the graph above, table to left to of the graph and table right of the graph, and all you can select. I will just go with the table. So if you want to preview the data, you can select and click on this, not required, just click on next. And here, say for example, we have these columns: business unit, supplier, supplier site, and invoice number, invoice amount. If you want to keep any one of these for filter option, you can go with the additional layout option. Say you want to, whenever you want to see these details through this OTBA analysis, so you want to get a prompt where system has to allow you to select business unit. So in that case, I'll move this column from table layout to additional layout options called as prompt for. Select it, go to move to select prompt for. This has to be taken into prompt for. So whenever you go and run this analysis or report, so the BU will become a parameter. You can filter and you can have access. This is how just you can move these options, and just click on next. And this is not mandatory, nothing, just you can click on next. And you have to save this definition. So this is analysis. I'll say OTBI invoice. OTBI means it's analysis by default. Okay, OTBI invoice analysis, that's how we are giving the name. And by default the same folders, my folders and shared folders, always select into my folder. Select and submit. It will be saved and submitted. Done. Okay, now if you can just run that report. If you go to all folders here, expand, go to my folders. Earlier whatever we created through BA, also those you can find here. This is a BA report which we defined. This is a OTBA, just analysis which you submitted. You click on this OTBA invoice analysis, it will produce the results. And we given a prompt should come as a business unit. Here you will be able to filter the data with the BU also. Okay, so the current user has access, direct access to which BU, that BU only will come here. Okay, based on the user access only, that will be provisioned. And this also you can get into different report outputs. Here you have export option, click on that, it will show all the options you want to take into Excel. The results you can take into Excel output. This is what. In the same way, like multiple report options you could see here, or else take into PDF or etc.
Lakshman, when you were creating this report, there was something called filter. What is that exactly?
So on the top of the column, it will give the filter option also. Okay. Just select, you just select it,
For
try it. That's not a big thing. It's just adding or ignoring. That's all. Okay. So this is what just we require the basic understanding. The OTBI, the same is applicable. You select any subject area. Only the point is which columns you want to select for your analysis. That is only the point. When I talk about BI, it just our target is writing the SQL query. Just understanding from where we can write the SQL queries. So that's all about the BI. How simple query. This is how you can select specific columns from dimensions, where dimensions will be part of subject areas. Any subject area you are going to choose, make sure that that is ending or suffix is online. Okay, so just that has to be there, and the suffix, then only that can be used. This payment formats and invoice imaging solution, this we'll see in the next session. So along with that, it won't take much time. Just maybe payment formats 10 minutes, invoice imaging 10 to 15 minutes. Then we'll proceed with the P2P cycle on the same session. Okay. So this is all about for today. So we'll connect in the next session and we'll proceed with these two concepts, and we'll try to complete the P2P configuration at least. And in the later session, we can see the process and all. So any questions from anyone, please?